Welcome back, everyone. World Baseball News for the week of October 2nd. When you think of October, you think of postseason, and we will see that soon in a few different leagues. But this year it also means international tournaments on 3 different continents. In China, baseball is one of the many sports being played at the Asian Games. In Mexico, the first ever Baseball Champions League was played by the champions from 4 different countries. And in the Czech Republic, Euro Baseball 2023, and that's where we'll start today. Group play continued into last week. 16 teams divided into 4 groups of 4, with the top 2 advancing to the quarterfinals on the weekend. Here's how group play turned out. Group A winner was Spain. A 9-0 win over Czechia on the final day of group play made it clear they were the top team in the group. The other 2 teams in the group, Greece and Austria, did not stand a chance, blown out by the top 2. Group B was the biggest surprise of all. Italy, almost always one of the top 2 teams in Europe, couldn't reach the top 2 in this group. The big one was an 8-3 win by Sweden over Italy on day 2. Then on day 3, a late comeback by Italy against Great Britain came up short. Britain won 11-10, and that kept Italy out of the quarterfinals. Britain had beaten Sweden on day 1 4-0, so they were the group champions. Sweden really surprised everyone, the biggest overachievers in the whole tournament. Hungary was unable to keep up with the other 3. Group C went as expected. Netherlands came out on top without any problems. France was second, and they moved on to the quarterfinals as well. Croatia beat Ukraine for their only win. No wins for Ukraine, but they didn't look too bad. Their best moment was leading the Netherlands 2-0 after 4 innings. Group D, Israel was expected to win this group, but Germany shut them out 2-0 behind 6 scoreless from starting pitcher Dalton von Schamann. Germany and Israel both advanced. Switzerland, the lowest-ranked team in this tournament, got a win over Belgium. It was a disappointing round for Belgium. They are one of the higher-ranked countries in Europe, but they failed to get a win in group play. So the matchups for the quarterfinals: Germany versus France, Britain versus Czechia, Netherlands versus Israel, and Spain versus Sweden. France led Germany 5-2 going into the bottom of the 9th, but Germany scored 3 to send it to extra innings. In the bottom of the 10th, an RBI single from Yannick Walter gave Germany a 6-5 walk-off win and a trip to the semifinals. Czechia versus Britain. The Czechs got on the board first on a 2-run homer from Eric Sogard, but it was all Britain after that. Catcher Harry Ford had 4 hits, a home run, and 3 RBI. Shortstop Nick Ward, 3 hits, a home run, a double, and 3 RBI. Britain rolled 12-2 to eliminate the host team from title contention. Netherlands and Israel. It was all Dutch from the start. 6 runs in the first inning. First baseman Delano Salasa batted in 3 runs on 3 hits. Starting pitcher Lars Hoyer tossed 6 innings for the win. Netherlands cruised 12-2 to earn their spot in the semis. And the Cinderella run by Sweden was halted in the cruelest way. The game was called after 5 innings. Spain scored 7 in the first 3 innings, 9 in the 4th, and 2 more in the 5th. DH Omar Hernandez had 4 hits, 2 home runs, a triple, and a double. Scored 3 times and drove in 5. Spain annihilated Sweden 18-3. That left us with 4 teams. Semifinal matchups: Germany versus Great Britain and Netherlands versus Spain. Germany and Britain. It was close early on. No score after 3, tied at 2 after 6. Then Britain put up 6 runs in the 7th inning. They were hit by pitch 3 times in that inning. Kennard Dawson batted in 2 runs on 2 hits, and Britain advanced to the final with an 8-4 win. Spain and Netherlands. Netherlands led 6-1 after 5. Starting pitcher Tom de Blok held the Spanish to 1 run in 5 innings, but once he was taken out, Spain came to life. 2 in the 6th, 2 in the 8th, and 2 in the 9th to take the lead. Rainer Cruz pitched the final 2 innings, no runs, no hits, as Spain dethroned the defending champions, 7-6 over Netherlands. That set up a final between Great Britain and Spain. Britain was in the final for only the 3rd time, looking for their first ever title. Spain was also in the championship game for the 3rd time, looking for their first title since 1955. For the first time since 1967, the Euro baseball champion would not be the Netherlands or Italy. In the top of the 1st, Spain exploded for 5 runs on a series of RBI doubles. Britain answered in the bottom of the 1st with a solo home run from Nick Ward. It was 5-2 in the 6th when Spain got 2-run homers from Wander Encarnacion and Angel Beltre. They went on to win 11-2 to claim their 2nd gold medal at Euro Baseball, first since 1955. Final standings: after Spain and Britain, Netherlands claimed the bronze. They beat Germany 5-4 on a 10th inning walk-off 2-run homer from Dashenko Ricardo. Czechia beat Israel 5-1 for 5th place. France shut out Sweden 13-0 for 7th place. Sweden's run in group play did not carry into the next round. Italy had to come from behind to beat Croatia 6-5 in the match for 10th place. Belgium, after a poor showing in group play, redeemed themselves a little. They won the 11th place game over Switzerland 8-3. Greece beat Ukraine 8-4 for 13th place, and that is the cutoff for the 2025 Euro Baseball qualifying. Greece is in. Ukraine will have to requalify, as will Austria and Hungary. Attendance for the event was 23,438, a new record for the European Baseball Championship. 2,394 were in attendance for the gold medal game, and the 6 games that the Czech team played in attracted 10,794 fans. It really shows how baseball is growing in that country. The Baseball Champions League was played for the first time last week in Yucatan, Mexico. It featured the 2022 champions from 4 leagues in the Americas: Fargo Moorhead from the American Association, Alazanes de Granma from the Cuban National Series, Caimanes de Barranquilla from the LPB in Colombia, and playing on their home field, Leones de Yucatan from Mexico's LMB. Fargo lost their first game to Granma but won their next 2 to make it to the championship game. Caimanes didn't lose till the last day of group play when they were beaten 10-6 by Fargo. The home team, Leones, didn't get a win till the final day. They beat Granma to make sure they didn't finish all alone at the bottom. Granma won their opener over Fargo but couldn't get anything after that. So it was Fargo and Barranquilla meeting in the championship game for the inaugural title. That took place on Sunday, and it was a blowout. The Redhawks won it with an 8-0 shutout. They got 6 scoreless from starting pitcher Tyler Grauer, and 3 hits and 2 RBI from Max Murphy. This year's inaugural edition only included leagues from the Americas, but they have big plans for next year. There's going to be a Champions League in Asia and another one in Europe. The champions of all 3 leagues will then come together for a world championship. The baseball tournament is underway at the Asian Games and will continue this week. 9 countries participating, so they held a preliminary round to eliminate 1. Thailand had no problems, winning their 2 games easily. Laos beat Singapore in the other one, so it was Thailand and Laos moving on. For Singapore, their tournament was over. The 8 teams are split into 2 groups. In Group A, China, Japan, Philippines, and Laos. Group B, Taiwan, Korea, Hong Kong, and Thailand. On day 1, Taiwan beat Thailand 12-1. Korea, which is using KBO players, beat Hong Kong 10-0. China had no problem with Laos 15-0. Japan, with no NPB affiliated players, beat the Philippines 6-0. Day 2, that's today. China beat the Philippines 2-0. Hong Kong hammered Thailand 8-0, holding them to 3 hits for the entire game. The other 2 games, Taiwan, Korea, and Japan-Laos, are still going on. Group play will continue for 2 more days. The top 2 from each group move on to the semifinals. Champion crowned by the end of the week. 5 weeks till the inaugural showcase for Baseball United. That'll get started on November 10th in Dubai. They had their draft a couple weeks ago but did not reveal the players to the public. This week we will know who they are. They didn't say when exactly the announcement will be, just that it'll be sometime this week. We do know that there will be several players with MLB, NPB, or AAA experience. There should be plenty of recognizable names, so stay tuned for that. In Japan, the NPB regular season comes to an end 1 week from today. In Central League, we now know which teams will be in the first stage of the Climax Series. We're just waiting to find out who's getting home field advantage. In Pacific League, 2 spots still up for grabs, 3 teams trying to fight their way in. 40-year-old hitter Nobuhiro Matsuda is hanging it up after an 18-year NPB career. He spent the first 17 with the SoftBank Hawks but signed with the Yomiuri Giants for this season, where he spent most of the year in the minors. In his career, he's won 8 Gold Gloves, played in the WBC twice, hit 300 home runs, 1,800 hits, and just short of 1,000 RBI. He had his best years in the 2010s when the Hawks dominated NPB. Matsuda was a member of 7 Japan Series championship teams. Hokkaido Nippon Ham Fighters pitcher Naoyuki Uwasawa is expected to be posted this offseason to sign with an MLB club. The 29-year-old right-hander has made 23 starts this season, ERA .296, WHIP 1.128, 119 strikeouts, and 164 innings. Not being posted is Seibu Lions pitcher Kona Takahashi. The 26-year-old right-hander was hoping to make the jump after this season, but the Lions GM stated that he didn't finish with stats where everyone felt he was ready. His ERA was .221, WHIP a career low 1.097, and he struck out 120 batters in 23 starts, 155 innings. He'll be a free agent after the 2026 season. Last week's results: Giants entered last week trailing the Baystars by 2 games for the final spot in the postseason in Central League, and their next 2 games were against the Baystars. But on Monday, the Baystars shut them out 1-0 to give themselves a 3-game lead. Dragons over Tigers 2-1. Eagles entered the week 1 game behind the Hawks and Marines. They did their part, rolling over the Fighters 9-1. 8 of those runs in the top of the 9th. Hawks blasted the Marines 10-1 to take over sole possession of second, and pushed the Marines into a tie with the Eagles for the last playoff spot. Buffaloes were 4-3 winners over the Lions. Tuesday, 5 games, 4 shutouts. Baystars pushed the Giants to the brink of elimination with another 1-0 shutout. Magic number for the Baystars down to 1. Tigers blanked the Swallows 2-0. Carp, same thing, 2-0 over the Dragons. Marines, supposed to be fighting for their lives trying to hold on to their playoff spot, but got blanked by the last place Fighters 7-0. Lions 7-1 over the Buffaloes. Baystars pitcher Katsuki Azuma struck out 6 batters in 8 scoreless innings to improve to 16-2 for the year. Hiroki Tokoda 7 2/3 scoreless, now 11-6. Wednesday, Baystars failed to clinch, hammered by the Swallows 11-3. Dragons 7-2 over the Tigers. Marines came back to life 4-2 over the Fighters. They got a little help from the Lions. They were 2-1 winners over the Eagles. And from the Buffaloes, they beat the Hawks 1-0. 4 runs batted in by Domingo Santana on a 2-run single and a 2-run homer. Dragons outfielder Seiya Hosokawa batted in 4 runs on 2 home runs, numbers 23 and 24 for the season. Buffaloes pitcher Sachiya Yamasaki got win number 10, with 8 scoreless on the mound. Thursday, only 2 games, both in Pacific League. Fighters down the Marines 9-2, and the Eagles reclaimed 3rd place with a 9-5 win over the Buffaloes. Friday, Baystars did it, 5-3 over the Tigers to earn the last spot in the postseason in Central League. They will now fight for home field advantage in the first stage of the Climax Series, and for that they got some help from the Dragons. They beat the 2nd place Carp 4-1, so the Baystars trailed the Carp by 1 game, and the Hawks held on to 2nd place with a 1-0 shutout over the Lions. Kohei Arihara, 8 innings, no runs, 2 hits, 1 walk, and 9 strikeouts for win number 10 in his first season back in NPB. Saturday, Dragons 2-1 over the Giants, Baystars 4-2 over the Swallows, Carp holding on to 2nd place with a 2-1 win over the Tigers. Marines trying to save their postseason hopes walked it off in the 10th to beat the Lions 5-4. Eagles also won 5-4 over the Buffaloes to stay 1 step ahead. And the Hawks scored 2 in the bottom of the 9th for a come-from-behind walk-off win over the Fighters 3-2. Akira Nakamura hit the walk-off solo blast to win it. Sunday, Giants blanked the Swallows 1-0. A late rally by the Carp came up short. Tigers won 6-5. Baystars shut out the Dragons 4-0 as they moved into a tie for 2nd with the Carp. That makes 25 times the Dragons have been shut out this year. Marines got past the Lions again 3-2. Eagles plowed over the Buffaloes 8-2. But the Hawks couldn't keep pace. They fell to the Fighters 4-3 and allowed the Eagles to move into a 2nd place tie. Teruaki Sato, 2 hits, a 3-run homer, and 4 driven in. Shinichi Onuki, 9 innings, no runs for the shutout, only 2 hits and no walks. Hiroaki Shimauchi, 3 hits and 5 batted in. Central League standings, Tigers a double-digit lead at the top. They lead the Buffaloes by 1.5 for the best record in NPB. Carp and Baystars tied for 2nd. Giants are eliminated. They need to win their last 2 to finish over 500. Dragons out of the cellar after a strong week. Swallows fell into last. They went from worst to 1st a couple years ago. Now they've gone from 1st back to worst. Pacific League, Buffaloes at the top. Hawks and Eagles tied for 2nd. Marines just a half game behind them, and plenty of meetings between those 3 teams this week. Lions and Fighters in their usual places. This week in NPB, 3 games today. Lions at Marines, Fighters at Buffaloes, and a big one in the playoff race, Eagles at Hawks. Tuesday, Giants at Dragons, Lions at Marines, and once again, Eagles at Hawks. Wednesday, Baystars at Giants. That is a big one. If the Baystars win, they get home field in the Climax Series versus the Carp. If they lose, they go to Hiroshima for the series. Tigers at Swallows and Marines at Buffaloes. Thursday, 1 game, Fighters at Eagles. Friday, 1 game, Buffaloes at Marines. Saturday, Hawks at Eagles and Buffaloes at Marines. No games on Sunday. Monday, Marines at Eagles and Hawks at Buffaloes. There could be a lot on the line in those last 2 days of the regular season. The KBO season is set to end 1 week from tomorrow. They've been playing doubleheaders and Monday games to make up for lost time. As of right now, only 1 team has clinched a spot in the playoffs, and 3 teams have been eliminated from playoff contention. Last week started on Tuesday with another rainy day. Only 1 game. Tigers, a team that had been struggling lately, beat the Dinos 6-4. Wednesday, doubleheader day. Dinos blanked the Tigers 7-0. Bears and Landers tied at 7. First place Twins shut out the second place Wiz 4-0. Lions hammered the Eagles 11-3. Tigers 6-1 over the Dinos to split the doubleheader. Twins made it 2 shutouts in one day, 3-0 over the Wiz. Eagles 4-0 over the Lions for the split. And the Landers beat the Bears 6-3. Bears DH Seok-Hwan Young 3 times on base and a grand slam. Home run number 20 for Young. Thursday, Giants 3-0 over the Eagles. Dinos destroyed the Tigers 18-3. Heroes 4-2 over the Landers. And the Lions brought down the Twins 11-1. Dinos outfielder Jason Martin 3 hits, a home run, and 4 batted in. Friday, Giants 9-1 over the Eagles. Tigers powered past the Heroes 13-5. And the Bears walked it off on a bases-loaded single from Soo-Hang Jo, 4-3 over the Twins. Tigers outfielder Socrates Brito, 4 hits, 3 runs scored, and 3 batted in. Jose Rojas homered twice for the Bears, bringing a season total up to 17. Saturday, Tigers trailed the Landers by half a game for the last playoff spot going into this one. Landers walked it off in the 10th on a bases-loaded single from Sung-Hyun Kim, 4-3 over the Tigers. Bears beat the Twins again 3-1, and the Lions took care of the Dinos 3-1. Sunday, Landers walked off the Tigers in the 10th for the second day in a row. Guillermo Heredia singled in the winning run. Twins 7-4 over the Bears. Eagles beat the Dinos 4-3. Giants topped the Lions 8-5, and the Wiz beat the Heroes 6-3. KBO standings. Twins have clinched the playoffs. Magic number for the pennant and a direct ride to the Korean Series is 3. Wiz are second, a magic number of 3 to clinch the playoffs. Dinos 2.5 behind the Wiz. Bears 1.5 behind the Dinos. Landers' sweep of the Tigers over the weekend was a big one. That gives them a 2.5 game lead in the race for the 5th and final playoff spot. Tigers running out of time, but they could still make it. Giants are 4 games out, still with a slim chance of sneaking in. Eagles, Lions, and Heroes, as usual, are the bottom 3. This week in the KBO, Tuesday, all early games. Tigers at Wiz, Dinos at Landers, Lions at Giants, and Heroes at Bears. Wednesday, Tigers at Wiz, Eagles at Lions, Tigers at Wiz Game 2, Twins at Giants, and Dinos at Landers. Thursday, all the same minus the doubleheader. Friday, Eagles at Landers, Tigers at Twins, and Lions at Wiz. Saturday, Eagles at Wiz, Twins at Heroes, Giants at Bears, and Landers at Dinos. Sunday, Eagles at Wiz, Giants at Bears, Landers at Dinos, and Lions at Tigers. Monday, Eagles at Dinos, Giants at Twins, and Lions at Tigers. Then we will be 1 day away from the end of the regular season. In Taiwan, still about a dozen games left for each team. The CPBL regular season schedule is set to end on the 19th, so we've still got more than 2 weeks remaining. Here's what happened last week. Monday, Brothers over Lions 2-1 to bring themselves within a half game of the top spot, shared by the Monkeys and Dragons. Tuesday, Guardians 1-0 over the Dragons. Brothers walked it off on an RBI single from Tsu Hsien Chan, 6-5 over the Monkeys to take over first place. Wednesday, Guardians with their second straight 1-0 win, this time over the Lions. Thursday, Dragons 6-1 over the Brothers. Drew Gagnon threw 7 scoreless for the win, improving to 12-6. Same score, Monkeys 6-1 over the Lions. Pedro Fernandez went all 9 innings for his first complete game. 9 innings, 1 run, and 7 Ks. Dragons and Monkeys back to the top. Brothers back down to second. Friday, they flipped again. Brothers 9-6 over the Dragons, and the Lions disposed of the Monkeys 8-0. Brock DeShorn with 7 1/3 scoreless to improve to 9-7. Saturday, Monkeys took it back 5-4 over the Brothers. Guardians over Lions 9-3. Outfielder Che Xuan Lin drove in 4 runs on 3 hits. Sunday, Monkeys removed from the top spot once again. Lions 4-0. Randall Delgado with 7 shutout innings for the win. And the Dragons moved back on top with a 12-1 thrashing of the Guardians. First baseman Xianglin Chu went 3 out of 6 with a home run and 4 RBI. Second half standings, Dragons with 10 games left lead it by half a game. Brothers are second, they have 14 games remaining. Monkeys are half a game back with 13 remaining. Guardians 3 back, Lions 3.5. Overall standings, Lions and Dragons are tied for the top spot. Monkeys 1.5 back, Brothers 2 back. Winner of the full season standings goes straight to the Taiwan Series. Looks like it could be a 4-team race till the very end. This week in the CPBL, Brothers at Guardians on Tuesday, Monkeys at Dragons on Tuesday and Wednesday, Guardians at Lions on Wednesday and Thursday, Friday and Saturday, Brothers at Lions and Dragons at Monkeys. On Sunday and Monday, it's Brothers at Dragons and Guardians at Monkeys. And that's all for this one. Until next time, this is Baseball International. See ya.